We're driving a Mercedes-Benz GLE. Coming up, I'm going to tell you a part of the car that gets unexpectedly hot. Weird. But first, information explosion. If you paid attention in the information explosion, you may have noticed the Mercedes-AMG label. Yes, this is the fastest and fanciest version of the GLE. Let's ease into some of that fanciness with interior. The little one is eating her gummies. That means we're free to talk about the interior. Sweetie, what do you think?
I feel like I should like it because it's super fancy. Like, it's so clear that lots of money was spent here. And yet I'm not into it.
If you touch around, it is clearly a very fancy interior. I will say that aesthetically, I actually kind of like some of the cheaper Mercedes interiors more. Like if you remember that GLB we drove, or like the CLA we drove. The smaller ones have a little bit more, I don't know, I guess youthful style. Maybe it's just because we're so young and stylish that that's probably not what it is. But so this aesthetically is not my favorite interior, but it clearly just exudes, you know, opulence.
It does, although I am surprised at how much shiny plastic looking stuff there is. You keep telling me this is wood, but I just don't believe you.
Okay, so the deal with wood trim is that when you get a piece of wood trim, it's not thick all the way through with wood. And these days they take a piece of plastic, put a super thin veneer of actual wood over it and call it real wood trim. So that's real wood, but when you tap on it, it doesn't necessarily sound like you would expect wood to sound like. I think that's why some of the newer open pore wood options are maybe a little more appealing, because their woody goodness is unambiguous.
Also, I have a question.
Yes.
What is this?
Thank you, Sensi. This is for when I do this.
Oh.
Makes more sense, doesn't it?
It does make more sense.
I think they were going for like, we're going off-road and rugged thing, because the GLE is, you know, meant to be used in a variety of settings. We just happen to be driving the most on-road centric version of it. What about family friendliness?
Oh my gosh. This is so family friendly. I love the height of it. The fact that once you pull those plastic pieces off, the latch points are very accessible, lots of cargo room.
And second row space is abundant. My second row complaint would be that the seat back angle does not adjust. I really wish I could recline that. That seems like a very common feature now, and it's odd that it's not here. And I'll also note that in the cargo area, it's plenty of space for cargo, but they also offer an optional third row seats. I've never seen a GLE with a third row seat actually in it from the press fleet, but based on the available space, that cannot be spacious. That'd be like a kid zone. But if you need a kid zone, you can get that with the GLE. What do we think? Family friendly?
Family friendly.
Most definitely. I mean, probably a fancier family than this one, but very family friendly. Rear window test. All the way down, all the way down.
It goes all the way down, Mama.
Armrest test. Now this isn't my normal armrest environment because I'm doing a lot of turning, but if I am driving in a comfortable 8 and 4, the armrests are so far outboard that I can just barely get the tip of the elbow on the rest. They are soft though, and the stitching is not on the top part, so I don't get any abrasion. I just wish they were a little closer inboard so I could keep my hands on the steering wheel and my elbows fully comfortable.
Arm sabotage.
You're sabotaging my arm. Those are the kind of wacky shenanigans you can experience if you subscribe to our channel. At 100,000 subs, I'm going to review a windowless white van. Style! Stylistically, does the GLE work for you?
Everything on the front of the car is so large as compared to the total size of the vehicle that it makes it look tiny and far away from you.
Oh, like an optical illusion, like a Willy Wonka hallway.
It does.
Like, what is that? Oh, it's really big. Weird. Yeah, I think there are more emotive designs in the Mercedes lineup, but I think the GLE kind of looks like what it should look like. In this particular, guys, the AMG 63S, there is a little bit more emotive AMG styling, so it feels a little bit more aggressive. They've gone for a racier vibe, and this one in particular has the optional 22-inch wheels. And can I say what I like about the 22-inch wheels?
You sure can.
Yay! The sidewalls on the tires are They're there. Like these days with huge wheels, oftentimes you get these super, super narrow sidewalls, and there's actually enough sidewall that it looks like there's a real tire there, and I kind of like that look. So I think, yeah, I think the GLE looks good. It looks good. How do you feel? If you like the GLE styling, tell us in the comments, but more likely if you don't like the GLE's styling, I don't have to tell you to tell us in the comments, you're already typing. If you're curious what I'm driving or flying between YouTube videos, give me a follow over on Instagram. And if you're curious what our family's up to, give Evie a follow. Also, you'll probably see pictures of our cat.
Sorry.
In motion! I've spent plenty of time driving GLEs, and one thing I really like is that they're very quiet on the inside and have excellent ride quality. Now, the previous GLE, I reviewed it for Kelley Blue Book, I think last year, and it was very soft, smooth riding. This being the AMG version, it's a little bit firmer. Some of that has to do with the wheel and tire package. It also has a specific suspension, so this is not as smooth a GLE as you can get, but those racier vibes definitely come through when you're blasting around windy mountain roads like up here in the mountains where we live. There's also a specific steering rack. They say it has a variable ratio, and this is where I'm going to out myself as being ignorant. I could not find an answer to the question of whether or not that variable ratio means it's variable from on-center to off-center, or if it's actively variable. I think it is the former. I'm talking too long about steering ratios. All I'll say is that as you drive around, you do not have to move the steering wheel much to get a reaction from the chassis, and in the previous GLE I drove, which was a more pedestrian version, it's a much slower feel. So I really like driving this thing around, you know, up here in the mountains. It's a ton of fun to drive. Maybe less fun if you're loping along behind a Toyota Tacoma, but still a good time. Being stuck behind a slow Tacoma is a good opportunity to talk about the brakes, which feel good at speed. There's a lot of stopping power there, but I have noticed, like when you're at parking lot speeds, that they're kind of touchy. It's hard to come to that super smooth stop that I love so much. Seriously, I was meant to be a limo driver and I just like never achieved my dream.
Poor sweetie.
I know. Once again, pity me, internet. One more suspension note, you can adjust the way the AMG GLE 63 drives with this little knob here. You can go to various modes. It's super convenient, and so if you really want to, you know, harsh things up, you can go to race mode. Good times.
Race mode, I like race mode.
Well, the kid spoke. We're doing race mode.
Uh-oh.
There are many other modes, sweetie. But really, what we're going to do right now, let's talk about powertrain. So this is a V8. It's got a turbocharger, and it also has an electrically powered, I'm just going to go. Yo! Full throttle acceleration.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What do you think? You like it? Cool. I like race mode too. It changes a bunch of parameters, but it also makes the exhaust a little bit louder, so you can make fun sounds like this. Oh, does that sound nice?
Yeah.
No surprises when you go with the fastest, most powerful version of a vehicle. You can have a lot of fun. More needless full throttle acceleration. And hard braking. Thank you, brakes. I'm having a good time, but she should have a good time too. Let's have Evie drive. I will not tolerate a slow meandering drive. Your job. Needless full throttle acceleration. Now go, go, go. All the way down. Go, go, go.
Oh.
600 power. Oh!
Okay. Let's test the brakes.
How'd that feel, sweetie?
Very powerful and loud. A little intimidating.
Besides all the anxiety, was that acceleration kind of fun? It's a very long pause, no words. You know what? I think there's only one thing to do. Can you, after we get out of this corner here, just floor it once more
Do it
time?
again?
Just,
yeah,
just
I think
floor
I need
it.
to do it again.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Punch it
Slow
right now.
down.
Go, 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 go. Ah.
That one was more fun.
Yeah. Do you think after like maybe a week of driving this, you might get used to it? You might ease into all that power?
I think I could, and I really like the way this thing steers. I like a really responsive steering system.
So you like the steering and you like the sound. Any other quick thoughts? Do you feel like you can see around?
Yeah, I like that there's that extra little window in the back. That's helpful.
Sounds like you're feeling very comfortable in this $133,000 Mercedes. Before you get any more used to it,
how much it costs.
before you get any more used to this level of opulence, because we've got money we need to spend on a helicopter instead of an SUV, I'm getting back in the driver's seat. Hey, you survived driving a GLE. Sorry, AMG GLE 63S.
Whoa.
Mercedes blew all their budget on letters and numbers. Very quickly, I would like to thank everybody on Patreon that supports us when I'm making helicopter videos. All that fuel ain't cheap, so thank you, Patreon. Emotion factor. Lady, hit me with that emotion factor.
The emotion, I guess, is sporty opulence, which just isn't my bag.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's a pretty great encapsulation of why you would feel emotionally entwined with the GLE, especially in 63S version. I have nothing to add. Jeepers, I love a quick segment. If you're feeling emotionally drawn to buy a Mercedes-Benz GLE of your very own, click the Kelley Blue Book listing link in the description below. Remarks! Remark number one, let's talk about these seats. So they have a massage function, and they do something that I really, really love. You can turn the heat on and the ventilation on at the exact same time. Because sometimes you want a toasty bum, but you've also got a sweaty bum, and you need to wick that stank sweat away.
What a lovely visual for everyone.
Also, it's funny because it's horrible, but there's no way Sensi needs to cover it up, because I'm using real words.
I know.
But
Sorry.
I mentioned massage function, sweetie, for $500.
Oh, no.
Within the next 30 seconds, find out how to adjust your massage function.
Oh no, and my seat's keeping me in.
While she's doing that, I'll point out that there's no physical button to activate the massage function. The fact that you have to go in here through the menus, dig around, means that while you're driving, you kind of can't do that unless you want to take your life into your own hands. It's
And I might accidentally do something you really don't want me to here.
Like what?
I don't know.
That's a very weird threat.
It's been at least 30 seconds, right?
Finding your way to the seat functionality is really, really hard. Okay, you got there.
Yay!
That's kind of a silly way to do things. And yet, I have a dedicated button to make the exhaust louder. Quiet, loud. Quiet, loud. In the very beginning of the video, I teased I was going to tell you about a part of the car that gets weirdly hot. The part of the car that gets weirdly hot are the armrests. When you turn on the seat heater, the armrests warm up too, which is a really nice thing when you're living up here in the mountains.
That is very nice.
Who wants a shoe?
Do you want a shoe? If so, tell us in the comments. What you might also want is a variety of engine choices, and to that, Mercedes says, yes, they have so many engine choices, I will now shut up. Musical interlude, these are all the engines you can get. Quick note on the active safety assists, they work just fine. I drive like a race car driver, using every inch of available space, and every once in a while it intervenes, and the system seemed to work just fine. Sweetie, can I dazzle you with some stupid names?
Please do.
Mercedes has a knack for giving their technology weird names.
In fact, when you read through them, they sounded like something for a sex robot. We should cut that out, probably.
What do you mean? Oh, that's very funny. Again, Sensi has nothing to say here. These are legitimate words. So there's the Energizing Comfort package, which is basically like the massage seats plus an air filtration system. And you can also activate a scent. So there's a scent in the glove compartment there, and that'll fill the cabin with the scent. Energizing Comfort. There's Magic Vision Control. Do you know what Magic Vision Control is? Can you even imagine what it is?
I have no idea.
You're probably thinking it's like night vision, or it's like, you know, something that's really technical. I'll show you Magic Vision Control.
Oh.
It's windshield wipers where the water just sort of comes out of the blades instead of shooting up. Magic Vision Control.
I do like overblown naming for things.
Well, then you were going to love Linguatronic, which if you go in the menu thing here to make adjustments to the Hey Mercedes system, that's what it's under. Linguatronic. Mercedes, you make a fine product, but man, you are really gilding the lily with those names. While we're stopped, let me quickly mention that the MBUX infotainment system gives you 3 ways to make your request. One, it's an actual touchscreen, so you can slide on through here. And they've got these themes, so if you want adventure, just push adventure, and it changes a bunch of different stuff for adventurousness. And then down here, there's this little touch pad. Although you'd have to look here to know that's where the radio media is. So, but it just gives you another option. And then up here, you've got these little swipeable pads that you can move left and right. So the right side controls the infotainment screen and the left side controls the gauge cluster. Lastly, one feature that's in here that I think is really interesting in a mid-size, basically family SUV is Mercedes' track pace feature. So you have a smartphone app and it integrates with the infotainment system. There are more than 60 racetracks from around the world all in the system. Wow. And it will coach you on your line and how to get faster lap times while at the racetrack in your Mercedes-Benz GLE.
That is so awesome. Who is taking something this expensive to the track?
No one! No one is doing that. And now that I've said that, somebody will leave a comment in the comment section and tell me that they have done that, and I find that amazing. Thank you, Hero, for taking your AMG 63S to the racetrack. In terms of the competitive set, the big names are the BMW X5. Do you remember driving the X5 and all of its convoluted technology?
Yes.
Oh, that was a good time. And then there's the Porsche Cayenne, that's another big competitor, certainly a sporty version. For me, as a colossal cheap, I might be inclined to go with other mid-sizers like the Acura MDX, or maybe the, remember the Genesis GV80 we drove?
Oh, yeah.
That was nice. That's a lot less money, too. Oh, good. This is a great opportunity. We now have nobody in front of us. Let's see how this feels going zippy. Are we having fun?
It sounds very nice.
And like that, we've caught up with traffic. Are there any remarks we missed? If so, tell us in the comment section. Synopsis! Thinking specifically about this Mercedes-AMG GLE 63S, it's very fun, and despite its ample carriage, it's sort of a heavy SUV, it's still really agile and quick. To me, this is the Chris Farley of midsize SUVs. And not to carry the metaphor too far, but if we were to buy one, we would be living in a van down by the river. Needless full throttle acceleration. Hey! Hard brakes. If you'd like to see what I'm doing between these kinds of videos, follow me on Instagram. Our family can be found over at Evie's Instagram. If you'd like to support the channel and maybe see more of these videos, you can give us a follow or a sub, whatever the kids are calling it these days.
What's a sub?
It's when you push the button and it lets YouTube know that you would like to see more videos like this for some reason.
Nice way to help creators.
That's right. And if you want to hear about every video we're doing, ring that bell. YouTube. Remember, at 100,000 subs, I'm going to review a windowless white van. Family, I think that was a pretty successful video. Can I have a high five?
Yeah, I love counting 1 to 100.
We'll do that after the video.
Yeah, high five. Do you like counting to 100? Oh, you do? Great. You get a high five too.